Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, weekly movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike, Mighty Morphin Tyrannosaurus Albertin, and who's with me tonight?
Mindless construction worker Red Fox.
And I am Joe Butler, and whenever I jump from an airplane and it's completely radical, I make sure I have a snowboard strapped to my feet.
Makes so much sense.
You gotta be cool. It is the 90s.
It is the 90s.
I hate the fact that when I hear 90s right now, the thing goes through my brain as a TikTok that I kind of want to repeat, and I don't know if I do. But you know what? I'm going to. It's some TikTok my wife found, and it goes, penises were a thing in the 1990s. They had penises. And I'm like, what? Somebody out there gets that joke.
Oh, my God.
It's a little kid that went to an art museum, and she's telling her mother or whoever that she went to this art museum and that she saw statues and they had penises. So, yes. Hey, wow. Sheila might know the TikTok if you ask her.
I kind of don't want to at this point. I'm afraid of the answer.
We are here to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie that came out in 1995, directed by Brian Spicer and produced by Haim Saban, that wonderful gentleman. I don't think he's a bad person, but I think he's an asshole. So
no, he's a bad person. I'll tell y'all. Okay. I'll tell y'all why later.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't look it up. I just based on what I do know that this movie has three different actors that aren't the regular Power Rangers that I remember. So I'm like, well, I mean, I know the whole story, but yeah. So that's what we are here to talk about. So I like to always kind of say, like, first I kind of want to say the plot of this movie. My version of it is the Power Rangers are the Power Rangers, and construction workers dig up an old grave, and Ooze is this guy who used to rule the earth is released and attacks the Power Rangers, and they lose their powers and they have to get new powers.
Not necessarily a grave, but more of just a containment area. Cell, yeah, prison.
I gotta say how well they chiseled out that whole thing before they brought the manager to look at it. Like, they had it completely cleaned out, did everything nearby. Yeah, they did it. Yeah, I was like, this is a little
right.
I was like, you think you just have a hole in the ground, like you just see the metal, then you would see them uncovered. No, they waited till the whole thing was cleared out. They got the whole area cleared out. Then like, hey boss, come take a look at this. Why you're talking to that idiot?
You know, if I was any one of the Power Rangers, I would sit there and be like, all right, Zordon, we're 3 for 3. Do you have any other motherfuckers stuck in a trash can somewheres? Because I swear to God, if we get surprised one more time, I'm kicking your ass.
Wait, is that where was Zed in a trash can too?
I don't know. He was trapped somewhere, so that's usually how these things fucking work.
Well, I mean, they had to go with the Rita route, but they tried to make it even bigger because what did Rita say? She was 10,000 years?
I don't remember.
So they actually made
10,000 years.
All right, so they lessened his sentence because his was, what, 6,000, I want to say?
I don't know. The movie I have on doesn't have subtitles, so I'm not sure.
I think it's 6,000. And I don't know. Which brings me to Ivan Ooze's like quips throughout the entire movie. Like, he's bringing up stuff that he has no idea even existed for 6,000 years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what was the dumb thing he brings up? He brings up something really stupid too at the end of that conversation. God, he brings up the Spanish Inquisition, he brings up the Black Plague, and then he mentions something really dumb that he missed.
Brady Bunch reunion?
Yeah, I was like, why is this even like? Come on now, like, I'm okay with the Spanish Inquisition. Like they're like, we need to have something really stupid.
Well, and he said even small things, like when he's talking to Zordon in the command center, he brings up like Zordon's talking and he says, "Oh, I'll put a sock in it." Does Ivan Ooze even know what socks are?
Of course he
also,
does. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, this movie starts off with scrolling text.
Oh, the good old Star Wars scrolling text.
Hey, it works in Star Wars.
Oh, it sure the hell does.
I don't know if it works here, but I was like, really, text? I'm like, okay, but I guess if you don't know who the Power Rangers are, or Zoo Rangers, they were called at one time in Japan.
Look, you at some point, because it's the 90s, you wake up one day as a parent and your kid goes, I want to go see the Power Rangers movie. So you have to start this movie off going, all right, what the fuck is going on? Because my child watches this on Saturday when I'm hungover, and I have no idea what's going on.
You could tell the influence of the directors in some of this movie, because the scrolling text, obviously, like, inspired by Star Wars. I'm sure they grew up on it or loved it when they were younger. And then at the very end, it's very fitting. The music is very fitting when the fireworks are going off. I mean, I'm skipping way ahead, but
that's fine.
I'm mainly just bringing up the song. That's Van Halen. Pretty fire song. I like the song, but I'm sure that's something that they listen to on a regular basis all the time. the 90s kids have no fucking idea what that's about.
That's
Well,
why I didn't think about that.
Let's just
the
throw that
song
in
when
there.
they're skating is Free Ride. Free Ride's a 70s song that I like by, I think it was Edgar Winter Group. I mean, that's not us, like, yeah.
Right, and that's actually, I like the song too. It's weird because it fits. Like, they did a good job in making it fit, but it I feel it reflects the age of the directors.
Yeah, because the last time I've heard that song in a movie was the Cars movie.
Never saw it.
So
I saw it way too many times, but I had a job at the time. So,
I have another like completely weird question for you guys, and Rich will probably be able to answer it better than Mike can. How long are these fucking kids teenagers? Because they're like 25 in this goddamn fucking movie.
I think they're practically teenagers for until they leave the
seasons?
team. Yeah, they're indefinitely teenagers. I guess.
Because one thing that I taught, because my husband was not into Power Rangers as a kid, but he knows of it. So he kind of like asked me stuff, and I'm like probably wrong. So I just kind of gave him the answer. So one thing that they did with this is that they knew kids were poor. So there is a season where they're wearing the Shakira ninja outfits in Power Rangers, and then they get like their new morphers, I think, in the TV show for another season. And I think eventually, I don't know what's next. Is it like Turbo? Turbo's next, right?
yeah. Pretty sure.
No, so it goes Mighty Morphin, then you have the Alien Rangers, then Zeo, then Turbo.
Oh,
Okay.
wow, there's that. Okay, I did not know that.
Also, this movie very much bleats with fucking Turbo for me, and I get super confused a lot because I swore they like get the Shakira ninja outfits, and then I thought they got cars as their new weapon, and I'm like, no, I'm just really, really old.
Oh yeah, you're merging it.
Yeah.
So this is reflecting. The movie came out, I want to say, right between season 2 and 3. It was kind of weird because I want to say I saw this movie, if I'm right. I mean, it was a long time ago, obviously, but before season 3 came out, and I saw how the Rangers became what they were, and then their origin in the show was actually different. So it confused the shit out of me as a kid. Am I supposed to follow the movie? Am I supposed to follow the show? What's supposedly canon before I knew what the hell canon even was?
Wait, this movie doesn't follow what happens later?
No.
I did not know that because I had watched Power Rangers and I watched this film, but then I never went back to the show at this point.
Yeah, I watched the show religiously all the way until In Space. And then a little bit after that, I watched Lost Galaxy 2, but then that's where it kind of died for me.
Okay. Joe, what is your history with this movie?
So if this movie came out in 1995, which would have made me 2. So
There you go.
Well, I watched Power Rangers growing up and somehow have vague memories. So if I remember correctly, when I got done watching Power Rangers, I watched Barney, which is a weird combination. It explains why I was a weird kid. But I very specifically being at like a friend's house and him being like, hey, you want to watch both Power Rangers movies back to back? And me being like 8, being like, fuck yeah, I do. So yeah, that's my history with these movies. I remember them. I love these movies are great for what they are. But yeah.
Good for a nostalgia trip, for sure.
And also like getting older and being like, oh, these movies were definitely made for kids.
Oh, yeah. There's parts where it gets pretty rough.
But before we get into that, I like to talk about how fucked up this movie is. Because as of recently, what is his name? Saint John, the original Red Ranger?
Austin St. John, yeah.
Yeah, Austin St. John was at like San Diego Comic-Con before he got arrested. It's before COVID. And talked about how like, which is weird because he's not in this movie, but so I guess he heard horror stories from the others. And basically talked about how like they all had to share a hotel room that they had to pay with their own money because that's how cheap Saban was.
That's
and
sad
just
as hell.
yeah, and just all kinds of horror movie stuff where like they were forced to like work ungodly hours because they were technically adults. Like they're all like probably between 20 and 25 for this movie.
Yeah.
And that's like the main reason why like a lot of them never came back for reunions, or a lot of them don't even have acting experience anymore anyways because they just had horrible experience working with Saban. And then funny enough, even going into that, the Black Ranger, who's Johnny Young Bosch, doesn't even act. He voice acts. And he's Vash the Stampede, and the main character of my favorite anime, Bleach. He's Ichigo.
The only reason I know that is because we have a signed poster that he signed when he was at a convention last year.
Oh, lucky.
I didn't talk to him. Tiff went up to him, met him, and got him to sign the poster. But I can say I saw the guy. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. Now you can, next time you see him again, you can like get a Black Ranger. What is it? Action figure and get him signed.
I'll meet the guy that played Zack at some point. He comes here all the time.
Yeah.
Those are my Rangers of the original. I don't know if I was watching the show when they switched them out and got Rocky and these other people. Because me and Rich met the Yellow Ranger in this. What is her name again?
Aisha.
We met her, and I had no idea who the fuck she was. I was like, I did not realize she was this early in the show.
Yeah, she was the first Yellow Ranger replacement.
I had no memory of her whatsoever. So I don't think I've ever. I've seen this movie obviously years ago, but
these Rangers all came out in what season? Season two? Yeah, season 2. So I mean, they practically outlasted the originals when you really get down to it.
Hell, if anything, fucking Jason David Frank outlasted all of them. He's in like this season. He's the Red Ranger in Turbo, and then he's like he's pretty much up until I think they go into. I think he's in space until they get to the Time Force.
He cuts out in
SPD
Turbo. He gives his powers to somebody else in Turbo.
Okay.
And then he's out for a while, and he returns as the Black Ranger in Dino Thunder.
That's probably my favorite part of Dino Thunder, honestly.
Get how big he was in Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Like how much he was the only guy to stick around.
And he also did the commercial with Lord Draken in it.
Oh yeah. That was all fan made too.
That's from the comics, right? Lord Draken.
Yeah, that was from the comics. When we get to that point, you'll see a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too, because it's gonna happen. Because I'm into Power Rangers. I mean, I just had to get this movie off our list because hell, I've talked about doing this movie like 3 years ago. At this point, I feel like maybe only 2. Maybe it was 2021 when I first mentioned doing it, but it's been a while. I didn't watch this on DVD. I was going to, but thankfully somebody uploaded this to YouTube and apparently it didn't get taken down for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
On YouTube.
I think because it's not on YouTube at all, and what's even funnier is it's like YouTube knows about it because it's listed for kids, and like the comments are turned off on it.
I don't understand how it's here though. Like you can't buy this movie anywhere like digitally. It's not on Amazon or I'm pretty sure it's not on Amazon or anything.
It's nowhere. Yeah, I couldn't even buy. Like I was like, oh, worst case, I can just like rent it on Amazon or somewhere, and I didn't see it anywhere.
Must be a rights issue or something where somebody's just like and again, which is stupid, just like put it out there.
What's really weird is when I was looking it up, Disney Plus was coming up, and I know Disney did own Power Rangers for a time.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe there's some legal issue there to where Disney is not like wanting to give it up or what the hell the issue is, but yeah, it's got to be some legal rights thing.
It's also being it's going out of print too. The Joe had showed us.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just strange. I mean, I wasn't too worried because there's always other ways on the internet to find something. So I was like, well, you don't want to sell it to me. I'll get it a different way. Okay.
I think I have actually like a DVD with both movies on it.
I thought I did, but I don't have Turbo. But I thought it was in both. I thought when I bought it, I got Turbo too, and I don't have Turbo, but that's fine.
Since PCs don't come with drives anymore, I can't fucking watch it. So
you can go buy a drive for a USB port and plug it in and have a DVD port. That's it.
Maybe I should. Like, you know what I found too? This is kind of off topic, but
that's fine.
Command and Conquer like compilation, like a whole bunch of them all on one disc. It's like, oh shit, I can't wait to play this. And I was like, oh wait a second, I don't have a drive. I can't even install it.
I have it digital. You can get it digitally on stuff too, except for Renegade. Renegade, I cannot find anywhere to get it digitally on the disc that you can't use.
Oh, I got it on Epic. I think it's on Epic. Or no, not Epic. What the hell is that?
EA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Okay.
Origins or whatever. I think I got it for free.
I just learned the funniest thing ever and the worst thing ever, and I can't wait to get to it because there's a different universe where I am a happy man.
Are you saying you're not happy in this current universe?
No, I'd be but I'd be happier in the other universe.
Right. Damn it, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. Now you got me curious. I'm gonna look at EA about that. But I mean, this movie is just like Joe had made a comment like this movie is so 90s, and you are not wrong at all.
It's 100,000% 90s.
Oh God, it's just. But one of the comments I have to make that I was noticing this early on is when you have Kimberly. So you have 3 women in this movie. For the most part, you have Kimberly, you have Aisha, and you have the Amazon lady.
Was that
Kimberly's
Dulcia?
wearing a crop top?
I think her name's Dulcia, maybe.
Dulcia.
No, okay. So Kimberly's wearing a crop top the whole time. You have the Amazon lady is like wearing like just like a freaking bathing swimsuit, and then you have Aisha that I felt like since she's black, we got to put a hoodie on her. I mean, it could have been her choice, but it felt like it was.
I'm wondering if maybe because she's not as thin as the others, and not that she's fat by any means, but
God no,
she's not as like rail thin as like maybe the other two. I I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, I think all
we'll
three
probably
of them
never
should have
know.
just had regular shirts on, not fucking
Yeah.
half naked. But hey, you're teenagers.
I mean, especially when you're portraying teenagers, I don't know. It's a little. Well, I mean, they'll see as a grown ass woman, but it's another story.
yes.
Look, you know,
Kimberly-
you say Kimberly's wearing a crop top, so is Jason David Frank. So you know what? It's just 90s wear. Who fucking knows?
I'm more okay with it. It makes I don't. It wasn't
Gender
as
equality
noticeable.
there.
Both him and Johnny Young Bosch have one earring in. And they're both wearing an earring in like very specifically the left ear. Like it, I very much feel they're like, this is what the kids wear, but I'm like, you know what? This is the 90s, and this probably is what they wear. So I don't fucking know.
I mean, I can't recall people wearing crop tops in the 90s, the guys at least,
No.
for the most part. But yeah.
I think all the guys have like their sleeves ripped off. Actually,
Yeah, even Billy. He's not. They don't portray him as the most masculine one, but they've still got him kind of. He's actually like in some of the best shape, I want to say, out of the team. Like when you go to like physique, he always kind of stood out to me. Cause he was a gymnast, though. That's kind of how he got the job, by the way.
okay.
So it kind of explains his physique. And if you notice, I read some trivia on it. Hopefully it's correct, but he is not wearing his glasses in this movie. But in the other seasons of the show, he's wearing his glasses. If you guys remember, even the toys came out with him wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess from what it said is that during the movie, he just hated wearing the fake glasses. He said that the fake lenses were kind of messing with his eyesight to the point to where he decided not to wear them. And then from that point on, he didn't wear them in the show anymore either, which I'm kind of curious to go back and look at some point.
Yeah.
How much longer did the show go with this set of Rangers?
Just, well,
It
actually
wasn't long,
a good
was
amount of it because most of this team transitioned over to Zeo. Kimberly left after season 3, or during season 3. So she didn't make it to Zeo. She never came back at all, as far as I'm aware.
No, she wasn't even in the Forever and Always because they wouldn't pay her enough.
Yeah, that sucked. That would have been nice. But the yellow Aisha ended up leaving. She got replaced by Tanya. So this is like Aisha's last season here. And then the rest stayed for Zeo. And then Jason came back as a Gold Ranger in Zeo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You don't know that? Oh, man, that was such a moment for me.
I was done. I have never seen a single episode of Zeo, and I'm pretty sure I can't go back. So Power
Zeo's
Rangers
actually
is a
not
time and
bad.
place.
It's pretty damn cool. But yeah, it is. It's not easy to watch. It's like background filler, really, if you ever do it.
One of my complaints in this, and like I caught it real quick, and again, I know why it is. Rita Repulsa is not the same actress because, well, everything with Rita Repulsa in the show was the other actress from Japan. They just got the footage.
Well, something you got to keep in mind is that there was another actress cast for her, even in the TV show. I want to say by season 2, because they had to start making their own footage.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they had a whole new. I think she was Latina. They had a Latina be Rita, and then this movie actress I think is even different. I think that's a whole different actress to begin with too. She's, from what I read, from Australia.
this was filmed in Australia too. So
And then it was also filmed there, so matches up.
okay. I just little things that I was watching. I was like, and your Scorpiana girl is not in this movie either.
Scorpina, but yeah, she's not in there. Well, she wasn't really in the show after I don't think season 1 either. Like once they got rid of that or went through the footage from that season 1, like that character was just kind of irrelevant.
Hey, you can buy toys of her. I was at a convention or somewhere and I saw her figure. I was like, oh, now I know who that is.
Oh yeah, they still release like figures of her now in the Lightning Collection, which is pretty nice. What I do want to say though regarding villains, Babu and Squat are nowhere to be found.
Thank God.
And I read that the actors at some con, voice actors, ended up saying that they were never even asked to be in the movie. They were never called because they didn't want to pay them a certain fee, I guess. So they ended up replacing the 2 actors with the damn pig.
Oh, that pig is new?
Yeah, he's never seen before or again.
Weird.
Fuck. Man, I mean, Power Rangers was making money at this time. Because I watched the Toys That Made Us, and it talked about they were making bank.
They were.
And he was paying them nothing.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, that's why the original actors left.
Yeah.
Or if you look at the Boom Studio comics, it was a whole nother reason, but
Oh, yeah. No, Haim Sabine doesn't sound like a very... We can get into it at the end of the episode, because I'm curious what you looked up, Joe, just other stuff besides the movie. But
Oh no, I'll say it here in a sec. I want to get to that part in the movie. It's a part of the movie.
okay. But yeah, no, he just seems like... I was in the Toys That Made Us. He's just talking about it. Like he's like, oh, we made so much money, and I know in history like guys quit because you didn't pay him enough. You hear shit about. So he's like, you had the fucking money, you asshole. Like this show was cheap to make too.
Right, like pay your rock stars. Like Power Rangers took over the world. Why would you not appreciate them?
I mean, and they're still. Expendable? I mean, these actors are still popular to people. I went to a convention. I went and met David Yost here recently.
Right,
nice guy. He seemed tired on Saturday when I went and saw him, but he was nice.
Probably was, man. He does that shit all the time.
Yeah,
it's probably burnt out.
I went and told him, you were my favorite Ranger as I was a kid. He was. I just left out the part was because you were a geek and I was a geek. I didn't feel like saying that to him, but
he probably would have laughed, honestly.
No, I remember reading an interview. He actually very specifically likes that he was the nerdy guy, and he says that like one of the things that he always loves is that kids would come up to him and tell him like, oh, or people come tell him and be like, yeah, because you were smart. I like being smart as a kid, and I grew up to be like a doctor or something. And he's like, oh, that fucking warms my heart.
Yeah, that was a great move on their part to portray that and not hide from it. That was really nice because everybody could have been the typical aggressive like teenager or whatever, but no, get the nerd in there. It worked out.
He was real friendly. So I now have a signed Funko Pop with a Blue Ranger carrying the weapon. So
isn't there like a real thing that like because I know they make a joke about it, which I know I don't know if Mike's seen. Rich, have you seen the bootleg Power Rangers?
The bootleg Power Rangers?
Yeah, the dark, gritty bootleg Power Rangers.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember it from being a kid. There's like a weird, like, I think they actually made videos of it, which is like Taekwondo Taibo or something like that, where you dance and do like Kung Fu or something. And that's referenced in the show. And then apparently that actually like made money too.
That I don't recall.
Oh. But yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's like an episode of Power Rangers where the Black Ranger talks about how he invented like I think he calls it like Taekwondo Taibo.
Oh, you're talking about a hip hop keto.
Yeah, hip hop keto. There we go. Yeah. And then I just remember that from the bootleg Power Rangers where it's like all you did was teach fat kids hip hop keto. Yeah.
Yeah, they did throw that in there. Yes.
Yeah.
I did love that little gritty trailer though. That was pretty badass.
It's not a trailer. It's like a whole movie. It's like a 30-minute.
Sort of. It's like a short.
It's like a 30-minute short.
So I gotta say, I really like the suits in this movie because they're all metallic. I remember as a kid thinking those were so damn cool when I was a kid.
I'm in between on that because I realistically like the spandex is not going to look good on the big screen in a movie. I think that would have been kind of dumb.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's why they changed it.
Yeah, I mean. But the helmets are kind of what throw me off because those are not the original helmets. Like they're noticeably different from what we are used to seeing on screen. They're meant to be shaped like it, sort of, but you could tell that it was somebody else that made that.
Well, my issue with the helmets is that the helmets represent their animals, like their dinosaurs, and when they switch animals, the helmets don't change.
Oh, don't get me started.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. All right, good.
No, that pissed. As a kid, that pissed me off. I was like, why are we talking about cranes and falcons and apes, and you got a fucking dinosaur helmet on?
Oh my god, I can't. I don't want to go there yet, but man,
I mean, that was a thing even in season 2. I mean, if you really think back to season 2, they swapped their Zords to the Thunder Zords. Where
that where the dragon comes from? The red dragon?
That's where the red dragon. That's season 2. Yeah.
Wait, this movie takes place season 1 or 2?
This is technically 3.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't they? I thought they had the original Zord still at this point because the symbols on their suits are from the original, aren't they?
They never changed the symbols in season 2.
Okay.
Well, they never had symbols on their suits to begin with. But
okay.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
I didn't realize that they had already changed Zords to.
Yeah, at this point, when the movie starts, they technically have the thunder power,
and then they get the animal power,
and then they go to the animal Zords, animal power. Yeah.
Huh.
Which in the show, I want to say they get it from Ninjor. If you know who Ninjor is, you get fucking bonus points.
I have no fucking idea.
Your project, your homework for today, kids, is to go look up Ninjor on YouTube and listen to that guy's voice and just fucking laugh.
Okay.
Oh, Ninjor. I remember Ninjor. That's the weird thing where that's like, that is not from Power Rangers. That is from a completely different Sentai show from Japan.
Yeah, it's very out of place and weird.
Hey, when the stuff comes free, you can't complain too much when it just comes with a package deal.
Yes, They do have Lightning collection figures of Ninjor as well.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you know what though? I'll one up you on that. Go look up the original pilot for Kamen Rider Black for like America. They gave him like a weird like Alf sidekick. It's like completely batshit crazy.
You said
Like,
this is the pilot for it?
yeah, the pilot for I don't know. I think it's called Kamen Rider. It's the American Kamen Rider. It's like one of the only two.
Here they called it Masked Rider.
There we go. Yeah, so we got Masked Rider, and then I think we got another version. I think it's Masked Rider Dragon Knight.
Which one was that?
That one's the one where it's supposed to be Kamen Rider. I can't think of which one it is. I think it's Ryuki. But like they actually went ham on that for the American version. That one's actually surprisingly good for a kids TV show.
Nice.
I think it was on Jetix.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
I also got really irritated when they're in the parking lot and all of a sudden Jason's helmet changes because they want to give him, or not Jason, Rocky's helmet because they want to give him like the visor. I was like, what the fuck is this crap?
Dude, that was one thing I'm glad we're actually covering, because that another thing that really pissed me off. Like, what is up with these unnecessary one-shot powers that they never use ever before or after?
It's toys. They all get something different so you can buy the toys.
I guess so.
You get the Yellow Ranger where a helmet lights up. You get the Red Ranger where he's got binoculars on his helmet.
I think at this time, the only toys that came out for the movie were the Rangers, which had metallic paint on them.
Yes.
That was it. They didn't even come with the different like special things like the visors and all that kind of stuff. I want to say, like, I actually have the movie version from the Legacy collection back when Bandai had it. Look at this goddamn thing. Let me see what's in it. We got the visors in this one. But that's the Legacy. But not the originals though. The originals way back in the day in the 90s, because these came out, I want to say, over 10 years ago.
Been a while.
Probably,
well,
yeah.
Yeah,
This is like kind of like a re-release type of deal. But the 90s one, I'm pretty sure it didn't come with any of that accessory shit.
There's such dumb stuff. Like they fight when they fight originally, and then they morph in their fight. I didn't mind the ooze guys. I remember like thinking they were cool at the time.
I hated their faces. Oh god, they could have
ugly.
better
faces.
One thing I also want to talk about their suits, because it's really funny. One, I kind of like and don't like how you can see the padding on the suits. I think that's kind of cool, and then also kind of like a little goofy. But it goes into a whole thing where like me and my partner got in a huge argument where it's like the suits from the reboot Power Rangers we got back in like 2010. And it's like, if you make a new Power Ranger movie, do you use suits like these, or do you use suits like the remake, which is like Iron Man suits? And there's a proof that, because there's a new, they make Shin Godzilla, they made Shin Kamen Rider, and they kind of prove that you can use like older suits to make really cool movies now. Oh, what was it that we were talking about? Also, did Alpha 5 get an upgrade suit too? Because he looks completely different.
Yeah, he's completely different.
It is different, yeah.
Okay.
And also, don't forget Kimberly.
Zordon's weird too.
Yeah, this is not the same actor because they only paid that guy like one shoot once, and they just did a couple headshots, and they were able to use it from then on. So they had to get a different actor.
Exactly what happened. But even then, they still changed up his entire look. Like it looks like a fucking corpse.
I don't like it. I do not like it in this.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Oh, I forgot. Billy has some like grappling hook thing, like he's Link, and then Kimberly has the whip that they use like once.
Yes.
Yep.
They all have something they use once.
Also, so surprisingly for these scenes, these goo monsters get their fucking asses kicked, and it's like peak 90s violence, because these guys get slammed against the wall and explode into fucking goo.
But because it's goo, it's okay.
Yeah, because goo, it's okay.
How about the part where Billy, like, I don't know, performs a fatality on one of them when he's on the ground? He punches him in the chest, and he like looks at his hand, and there's like that ooze all over it. But when you see the chest on the guy, the ooze guy, there's no indent, there's nothing. It's just the padding.
Oh, and don't forget that killer scene when there's one point when I was watching this movie where they just jump on, they hit this one goo guy from both sides and his eyes bulge out like it's
Oh god, you know what?
Yeah,
it was so out of place and stupid, but I actually liked it.
It made me laugh. Or the part where when Tommy throws his stupid little blade thing and it spins around, goes up to where this dumpster is, hangs in the air, lasers it, and then falls down.
I'm like, the whole time I was like, could it just have cut it? It's a sword.
Yeah. It would have been cooler, but nope. You gotta have laser.
Well, here's one thing: since you're not too well versed in that range of Power Rangers, do you remember that Saba actually is kind of sentient and can talk?
It is?
Yeah, that thing can
Oh,
fucking
I did
speak.
not know that.
I thought that was only the Japanese version.
Oh, that's in America too. So,
Okay.
yeah, like
Oh,
I
okay.
remember him
That's-
being on top of the White Tiger Zord, speaking the Saba.
Okay, I didn't. Wait. Why does he doesn't have the White Tiger Zord in this either? Does he have it normally?
He has the White Tiger in season 2, and that's part of the Thunder Zords.
Okay, I remember White Tiger.
So Saban had, like, the whole team had to make a choice. After season 1, they ran out of the footage or used it up, whatever you want to say. Season 2 came along. They ran out of the footage from that first adaptation. So they came up with I mean, Joe probably knows the names way better than I do on all these, but there's people in America now that are like yearning. They really want to see those suits from that show because the White Ranger is from a whole different team
Yes.
than what you see. And I will, slight spoiler alert, you do see those suits in Boom Studios for different reasons. I'm going to say how, but you do see those. So that's the closest we'll probably get in America to actually seeing those, the rest of the White Ranger suit team.
There's a thing that I saw, and I'll send it to y'all if I can find it. And that's the way I found out. Yeah, the White Rangers from a completely different team. Even weirder, we stole an idea from Turbo from them for the White Ranger. Because in the Japanese version, the White Ranger is a kid who finds the dagger, and then when he morphs, he turns into an adult. And because it's Japan and we're America and they're a little bit weirder, this kid straight up is on a skateboard and wearing the White Ranger suit, being like, and the tiger's like, so what are you going to do with your newfound power? This kid straight up goes, I'm going to go to the corner store and buy a bunch of porno mags.
Of course.
Hey, it's Japan.
Yeah, not that surprised, honestly.
I mean, Japan is a little different, so.
From some of the anime I've run into, I mean, hey, that's pretty minor compared.
You are not wrong at all.
Well, we did get that in Turbo, like he was saying, like Joe was saying, like with we had the Blue Ranger that was a kid. One other reason that they did that is because Beetleborgs was already out.
Oh, yeah.
And Beetleborgs was a fucking hit for the most part. And they're like, oh, kids must want to see kids, be in these kind of situations with these powers. So they like shoehorned the Blue Ranger in as a kid. And that was the first season, like, really bomb.
People hate
Really?
him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, for me personally, I'd probably put less blame on the kid and more so on like what they presented. Like, because you got to think, like, that was the first time once Tommy left and Adam and Rocky, once they all left, what were we left with? We had an entirely new team with new faces for the first time. So people had to get used to that, and they also had to get used to stupid ass car powers.
Yeah, that didn't go over well. I feel like I know I was done at that point. I was like, I don't. These are stupid.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I was like barely hanging on. I hated it. I was like, who gives a shit? You go from dinosaurs, hell, mythical beasts to animals, and then you go to cars. I was like, oh god, why?
But how else are we gonna sell more toys? I mean, that was a big part of it. And
that is a huge part of it. I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons. I mean, you saw the documentary, right?
yeah,
So
that's how they make all their money.
yeah, same with turtles. But
Yeah, but at least the turtles makes more sense.
Funny enough.
Power Rangers just feels like, yeah, I don't know. I'm more okay with turtles than I am with Power Rangers when it comes to that type of stuff. One thing we haven't talked about yet that I want to mention is Ooze, the guy that plays Ivan Ooze in this. So that's a actor and probably one of the few. He's in a movie that I would consider one of the perfect movies out there.
What are you gonna say, Indiana Jones?
Yeah, he was Belloc in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Belloc, and he's in the shittiest role. Like, he hams it up in this role, but it's like, how do you go from being one of the best movies ever made to this shit?
I don't know, man. His over the top shit actually worked though.
It does.
Tell. Yeah.
He's funny in this.
Yeah, he did a good job, and his makeup was actually pretty good.
I mean, they probably gave him his own hotel room.
Yeah.
Shit, I would hope so.
I legit, we were watching this and my partner goes, is that fucking Robert Englund? And I had to look it up.
That's very common misconception. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
I knew it was somebody famous.
Since I'm on the scene with the movie, they also let Goldar's mouth move in this because I'm 90% sure it does not move in the TV show.
Oh my god! You know what? I think there's a different. I think in the Japanese one it might move, but when we got it here in America, it was a stiff. Like they used a different mask.
Probably
Cheaper.
Yeah,
think
like
Heinz
it
Combine
didn't.
is a cheap
It
ass.
probably didn't survive the shipping from Japan to LA.
Oh, and yeah, in fact, we're talking about Japan. This is actually like the first ever time that we've actually recorded our own footage for a Power Rangers thing, because everything else we steal footage from.
Oh, he didn't have a choice. I mean, so this movie's really broken up into 3 parts. You have the first part where they run into Ooze and fight the stupid Oozelings. Ooze then kills Zordon or damages Zordon. And then they're sent to this planet somewhere far away that's to go get new powers because they need power for Zordon.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same point, Ooze sends a Tengus, and also Ooze puts frickin' Zed and Rita in a little snow globe for some reason.
Yeah, of all things.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Well, speaking of Tengus, I do want to bring this up.
Yes.
So when they are introduced, which they're a stupid fucking enemy, and I actually hated them. Like the putties were great. Putties were iconic, and then you go from putties in season 1, regular putties, and you get the Zed putties with the Z on their chest in season 2, and then you get these goofy ass Tengus in season 3. Oh, did I hate it?
Wait, these Tengus stick around?
They're in the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought this was a one-off thing for this movie.
Nope. Ooze is more of a one-off than the fucking Tengus.
I thought the Tengus were part of Ooze. Like I thought I guess they're not, huh? They're just part of Zed.
Tengus are just commanded by Ooze. I don't even think they really explain it.
I'm not 100% sure. Also, I just realized something too, which I'm gonna bring up, which is funny. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe in like the 90s they had this really weird thing where they would like TV shows would be turned into a movie. They would like try to incorporate what they had in the movie in the TV show, but it was also a thing of, oh, if you haven't seen the movie, go see the fucking movie. Buy the movie. Buy a movie right now.
No. You know what other reason it probably was is because they already had the suits. Let's use them. But when they first showed up in front of Ooze and he introduces them, that song and that beat reminded me of Ayla from Chrono Trigger, the Jurassic period.
Oh, damn it. Now I got to click backwards and watch. Damn it. Look what you did. I have to unmute it.
Oh, while Mike's unmuting that, I did realize something because I still, once again, had the movie playing in the background. This movie has a lot of like simple sponsorship. Mike, you didn't notice the reason why Aisha's wearing a hoodie is because it's a Nike hoodie.
There you go.
Just like how their weird little kid friend who has like a bunch of dialogue in the movie, he's straight up wearing an Air Jordan hat with like a weird Air Jordan logo on like the front. And I'm like, who the fuck designs a hat like that?
I would like how you describe him as weird little kid friend. I would have loved to seen that in the credits. I think his name's Fred, but yeah, he is a weird little kid friend.
Weird little kid friend.
Well, yeah, I did notice.
I hear it, by the way.
You hear? You see what I'm saying? I did notice his Jordan hat. I mean, at the very least, that was super relevant at the time because Jordan was on fire.
I commented this.
So this is a precursor as well. The 90s tried to warn us that slime would take over the world, and they were right. Because we get to the part where Ivan Ooze is like, I'm going to make a factory, and then I'm going to make ooze, and I'm going to tell kids to go home and throw it in their fucking parents' faces.
I love that.
And it's even weirder because you think that the kids would do that, but you have like the kid's dad come home who's a firefighter, and he straight up looks at it and just shoves like his whole fist into this jar of an unknown substance his son got for free on the show.
That seems kind of believable, to be honest with you.
Well, you know what's weird about it is like every other, like how many other parents did the same thing? Because you get this zombie army of brain dead parents walking out at the same time.
I think it's supposed to imply, because I can't see the bottom, so I'm hoping one of you could tell me. There's like words on the can, and it says at the bottom like adults do not touch or something like that.
That I didn't notice.
Yeah, there's something written on red at the bottom, and I can never tell what it is because this movie's in like 780.
I mean, I'm assuming my DVD version isn't much better that I didn't bother to open. So.
Also, doubly also as well, fucking Zordon sent them to another planet. None of these fucking kids are wearing the right fucking footwear. They're all wearing fucking sneakers.
I didn't really care for the other planet much. I mean, I really hate everything that happens when they get with their... Like, the ninja suits are... I remember as a kid thinking the ninja suits were cool. Now I'm like, these are just stupid.
You thought that? Because I thought something completely different.
Oh, what did you think?
I saw the ninja suits and I was like, oh, ninja suits. And then I saw fucking Tommy in a white suit and I went, oh, this did not go past the marketing team because that is a white man in a white suit with his face covered.
It's the 90s.
You know.
I mean, they were making how many racial mistakes in season 1? So, I mean, hey, they're still figuring shit out. So.
I would say I want to go back and watch it, but I know that's not possible.
What, season 1?
Any of this shit.
Oh,
It's on Netflix.
That's not the impossible part.
Well,
The impossible part is trying to stick through it.
oh yeah, you have to like. This is straight up like I'm playing something in the background.
it's got to be background noise or glimpse at it once in a while.
Or I got to get back to what Rich once sent me, where there were YouTube videos you sent me where somebody breaks down each season and just tells you stuff that matters.
Nostalgia critic.
Yeah, that's what I need to go back, because that actually made it interesting enough, because he skips all the bullshit you don't need.
Yeah, he skips all the bullshit. He gets to the plot, and then he does pick out a couple fun things you might not have known, or
That's the way to watch Power. I mean, hey, that's how I absorbed the 2003 TMNT cartoon. I watched some guy just break down every season for me.
If you could do that, you can do those Power Ranger seasons.
So, and that was 2003 Turtles is pretty damn good, by the way. I did try watching it and I couldn't do it. But
Yeah, I can't either. I'd have to do the retro, but then I actually have to dedicate the time to do that too.
see, you do it while you edit a podcast. So that's the way to do it.
Since I edit so many podcasts.
Or when you're at work, if things are slow while you're sitting at a computer typing, you have stuff playing in the background. But you can't do that either, because I know your job is. So,
I could probably do that.
yes, I do sometimes. If I'm not busy, I'm just typing away. I can put on something in the background to listen to it.
So the Rangers get their asses kicked, to which we're introduced for the other movie character, who I'm pretty sure I'm going to say wrong. So it's Dulcia.
Yeah, I think it's Dulcia.
I had no subtitles in this, damn it, so I can't tell you stuff.
Yeah. So I found this on one of the info pages. So Dulcia is played by Gabriella Fitzpatrick, who was diagnosed with ovarian cysts that had to be removed. So Mariska Hargitay, who is the female detective for Law and Order SUV, apparently replaced her, filmed several scenes, but Saban didn't think she fit the role right, so she was fired, and then they got Fitzpatrick back. And then Mariska Hargitay was like, they didn't use any of my fucking scenes, and she didn't realize it until they fucking came out with the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read about that.
What the fuck?
Well, what's even worse is I read that she didn't get fired until she left for the holidays.
Yeah.
And then they told her while she was gone on visiting her family for the holidays. Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything about this film just sounds terrible. And I'm guessing it just wasn't. She wasn't hot enough. It's what I'm guessing it was.
What's surprising, because she's still kind of hot.
Well, I
Mariska.
mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying I don't know who she is, but I'm guessing it had something to do like with that when it came to what they were going for. Because this movie, you can tell it's for teenage boys. I mean,
Well, she plays like in Law and Order. She plays more of a stiffer role, so maybe that's didn't
This
translate too good.
like barely in this movie. You see her once looking at a cliff, and then she shows up. She saves them, and then she talks to them. That's
Well, I
really
will
it.
say the actress they have that does it, I think she does a good job for the
Yeah, she's
shitty role she has. Maybe because they really did like her and she had to go get that surgery. They're like, all right, the other one was just much better. If she's recovering, right, let's just get her back, I guess. I don't know.
But you still don't need to fire a person. Just put them in, give them a different role or something, and just. I'm assuming firing was how we can get out of not paying you. I'm assuming what it was.
Probably. Also, I have the hugest crush on Mariska Hargitay, so finding that out made me severely sad and disappointed. So there. Yeah.
I did read that her scenes, she was accompanied by a little sidekick that would, I think from what I read, like mess with Kimberly a lot. But since all her scenes were taken out, they cut the little sidekick.
What's with them trying to add? I think that's probably also why they cut it. Was probably because of the fucking little sidekick, and that makes more sense, honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I don't know what's up with him. I don't know if because like I mentioned earlier, the Master Rider that we got, they're just hell bent on adding like little creatures to these shows or like really weird like mascot characters. Because you mentioned Beetleborgs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember like they had what was their like there's Zordon equivalent, wasn't it like a big genie man?
It was like a ghost, an Elvis ghost.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird. And he's never in any of like the fight scenes or anything because he's only with the kids because that's what the American version wanted.
You're talking about the Beetleborgs?
Beetleborgs.
Yeah. So they had him like, all right. So they went to like a haunted or abandoned house, and then they had the ghost. They had a mummy, a werewolf, and who knows whatever the hell else in there. Like they went Universal monster movie route for some weird reason.
I guess because beetles are creepy, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Sure.
I got a good look at it now. It says ooze, and then it says safe for children of all ages, but then it says adults beware.
I guess.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
I never paid attention, but then again, I haven't seen this movie in probably 25 years or so. So, been a very long time. I still can't get over the Tengus are not just for this movie.
Yeah, buddy.
It bothers me because they're made with ooze, so shouldn't they just be just this movie?
How did you like that theme song?
Not a little bit like it. I had to go listen to Ayla's theme song afterwards, but
yeah, just reminded me of it, or at least that time period.
Yeah, it wasn't stolen like the Rickroll song in Rubble, and you're like, wait
Robo.
a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you play both of those together, and you're like, I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. The Metal Gear Solid 1 theme is just a theme from Speed.
Is it?
Yep.
That's great.
That's straight up from Speed.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Same. But when we're done, I'm gonna look this up because I'm curious. I don't know. I just was like bored with the planet. I mean, okay, there's some interesting parts of the planet. I mean, this movie has so many stupid little one-liners too, which are actually hilarious.
What's wrong, Adam? I'm a frog.
Yeah, they say. Well, on trivia said it was ad-libbed in there, but who knows? You know, and she kind of like brushes over it too. She's like, "Oh, like the one you kiss," and she's like, "Haha," and moves on.
Yeah, like they all get told like you're as strong as a bear and like as fast as a crane. I'm a frog. Oh yeah. Anyways,
You get a kiss.
Apparently it worked. He didn't really complain after that.
would anybody though?
They're right.
Also, there's like a weird thing that we talk about, and it's mentioned in the Boom comics where like the being morphed gives you like super strength. I don't think them wearing the new outfit, well, the Shakira Ninja outfits gave them like super strength or anything, because they have an equally hard time throughout this adventure when they're on the planet.
I never understood. I thought the designs were cool. I still like the designs. I just never understood what the fuck was the point, because I don't know what they got out of it. I don't know what kind of powers they gained. I couldn't fully remember season 3 at the moment to even tell you what it might have given them then, if anything. It was just kind of like an unnecessary pre-morph.
Sell toys.
Sure, it definitely did. I have one of the Legacy collection ones on my shelf right now, but I never understood it, like, story-wise.
No, I don't think there's a point. It just feels stupid.
It's okay. You want to talk about no point? She Dulce Leche turned into an owl afterwards, and no one really cares.
Oh, there's no point to that.
Nothing happened with that.
Nothing happens with that.
She has the powers of Nightwolf from our Mortal Kombat, and for no reason.
Yeah, because I remember she morphed into that, and then you just nothing came out of it.
You see her looking at them later, but it's not like she follows them or anything.
Yeah, she just like says good luck or some shit and flies off.
Mm-hmm.
I was very confused because Joe made a comment like, "Oh, the owl lady." I'm like, "All right," and then you just nothing.
Well, other than her little speech about like, "Oh, there's an animal inside of all of you," like I guess that's insinuating she does too, so she fully understands. That's all I got out of it.
Made no fucking sense. No fucking sense.
It's a '90s kids movie. Who fucking knows?
I don't even think the writers thought it made sense. So.
Oh no, I just didn't care for the ninja outfits that much. I had forgotten how much I hate the Animal Zords until I saw them in this movie, and I went, "Oh God, these
have
are."
Have you seen the ones from the show?
No. I never watched the show this far.
Look at the ones from the show. Don't look at these.
Are they worse?
No, they're better.
Oh, interesting.
What?
Yeah, they don't use this shitty CGI. They still use the actual physical toys.
Oh.
Yeah, go look at that shit. Look at the actual Zord from the show. It's way better. Way better.
That makes sense then. I mean, maybe the CG looked good in 95.
Absolutely fucking not, it didn't. Because we had Jurassic Park in like 93. Like this come on. This was
there's a joke to it too in this. He's like, "Welcome to Jurassic Park."
Yeah,
but you can tell that was added in because he's off screen when he says it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's all bad. All the effects in this movie are bad.
Is it the Thunder Zord?
Nope, not Thunder Zord. Look at the season 3. I don't know what they call it. I don't know, Ninja Zord or Animal Zord. It's not animals. But
I had season 2, so that's why. Give me a second.
Yeah, season 3.
Then why not just use that for this movie? Well, I guess because they didn't have the actual footage.
They probably don't have the figures or do anything with them. Or,
they didn't care enough.
Yeah.
But CG had to be expensive at this point.
That looks tons fucking better.
Uh-huh.
Damn it. Oh, I gotta look it up too.
Hold on. Give me a second. And I thought that they were supposed to be going for, because it had like a weird like look to it. Like it was supposed to be like a samurai or a ninja or something.
I mean, that could have been cool, but I don't know. It just felt so unnecessary, and they're just so they are so fucking ugly in this.
Honestly, it had to be a budget thing. They just couldn't afford any better. It looked really, really bad. All of it. Ooze looked bad. Those fucking morphic. What do you call those Zords? He had the evil Zords.
I don't even remember what they're called. But he has a bug. There's two different bug ones.
Yeah, they had the scorpion and the big ass mantis. Is that
Mantis? Yeah. It's Mantis. I think you're right.
He used the toad to hold him down. I hate the frog ninja Zord. I hate it so much.
It's a big frog.
You saw the pic from the show?
Yeah.
Ninja Megazord, yep.
Looks a little. That
was actually the first Zord that I had ever. Was that I dreamed. My parents couldn't really get me one, but I dreamed of like the original Megazord, and I wanted it so fucking bad. I never got it, and then finally years later, the only one I ever got at that time was the Ninja Megazord. Yeah.
It's still cool. Like it's not. This is before they get really weird, isn't it? They get really stupid.
What, some of the Zords?
Yeah.
The Zords are no. Yeah, I guess so. Some of the Zords are still pretty good throughout the years following.
Okay. I just don't know enough about Power Rangers.
I think the train ones are pretty cool. That's
we'll never get.
No, we got trains at one point, didn't we?
If we did, it was a much later one.
I thought they skipped trains here because they didn't think it would sell.
They skipped a couple.
I don't know. And also on the planet, or what else they do on the planet? Oh, they have the part where they fight those stone guys for no reason.
They get their ass.
I guess to earn their powers. Because that's when they get the animal powers, isn't it? Right after that.
Yeah.
That's the requirement to get the coins or the animal power.
I did laugh when Tommy jumped on a big bone dinosaur and he's like, "I got a bone to pick with you."
You like that one?
I did. I was like, it's so stupid, but it's funny. So fucking stupid.
As I said earlier, why are they so scared? They're just bones. The skeleton.
The stuff with the kid, like that kid Fred. Fred also seems like a weird name for a kid, by the way. But maybe in the 90s it wasn't. I don't know. I still find it weird. Like when you have like the whole idea, like, so at one point you have all these parents working. They're like, okay, go jump off a cliff now and die. And from that scene, they go from wearing vests in the warehouse to when you see them on the street, now they're wearing smocks. They change clothes at some point on their way to death.
You know what's fucking odd too is that some of these like people digging up these evil Zords are wearing like PPE and shit. They have hard hats on, and it's like, do you think Zed or Ooze actually gives a shit if their heads are protected or anything?
Maybe it's a thing where it's like, look, if they all get killed, we can't dig out the mech, so they can't die until all my mechs are put together.
I guess so.
I think it's more of just somebody's like, here, put on these helmets to look cooler in the scene.
I'm also glad I'm not the only one who thought the fucking like Megazord in this looks fucking awful.
I think the entire world thought it looked like ass. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen because I just couldn't believe it. Like, we come from an era where CGI was just starting to get better, and you could tell it was a budget. Even when I was a kid, how old was I at this time? Was this 95?
95.
That was like 8. So it was like, even then I was like, oh, this is garbage.
We haven't met yet, have we, at this point?
No, I didn't know you yet.
We met middle school.
I met you like 12.
Yeah,
around 12.
6th grade is when we met, but I don't remember a whole lot else. Yeah, no, I really hated it. I don't even remember I'm trying to see what the Megazord even looked like. I just remember all the stupid, ugly, regular Zords. I hated them. I'm also not used to Tommy being the leader.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the thing that happened. It kind of transitioned partway through season 2 because obviously we lost Jason.
Okay, I think I fell off before Jason left. I think I watched it randomly once, and I remember he was gone, so I kind of just moved on.
Yeah, so once that happened, and this happens in Boom Studios too, Rocky is just kind of a backseat character at that point, and Tommy just runs the show. And it's not to say that, because Jason's in the comic consistently, like, he doesn't take a backseat to Tommy. If anything, they clash here and there, and Jason eventually kind of does his own thing, and you see what happens during that season 2 transition and how important Jason still is. Yeah, Tommy back here on the normal team just takes over.
And like the whole one thing that made me when I was watching this, there's the one part where the parents are trying to walk off in their trance, and the kids are trying to hold them in place. And the one kid has the idea of he sees a hose can, like, okay, I'm gonna get this hose. And I thought, okay, they're gonna spray the parents, but no, we're just gonna spray the kids that are pushing back the parents to push them forward like we're in a video game, then we're going to switch kid and keep it going so we don't lose anybody. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid.
You know what else is fucking stupid? When the Falcon Zord comes down and, and the train is going, and it uses itself as a rail that perfectly fits that one spot.
Why were they on the train in the first place?
Because they had to get to where the parents were. They had to get in front of them.
Like just faster? Okay.
Yeah, because they were all too busy partying like it was 1999.
Or like the kids in the Turtle movie in the Foot Clan later.
Where they're smoking.
Yep.
I wouldn't be seeing that anymore currently, no.
Oh, man. Never see that now.
No, that'd be rated X at this point. They put that in a movie.
Yeah.
Kids smoking? Oh, rated X. I just couldn't get over, like, I really thought he was going to spray the parents and knock them out of it, and he's literally just spraying the people to hold them back. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid.
This is for future reference, but I can't wait until like Mike gets into the really bad Friday the 13th movies, and there's man. Like he's gonna see like the part where Freddy gets this really stupid shit, and he's gonna be like, this seems familiar, and he's gonna remember this scene from this movie where Ivan Ooze like becomes a weird 3D JPEG and goes up the ass of the bug monster.
Oh, and then man, yeah, you're not fucking wrong. Yeah,
I'm in no hurry to watch Friday the 13th movies. I've only seen one.
I say Friday the 13th. I meant Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay, those will all happen now that we just did West. We've done 2 so far that are on the show at this point. So.
First one is iconic.
Yes.
First iconic. Anything after that, get ready.
Yeah,
I've seen up to 5, I think.
That's not good.
I
Yeah,
liked 3 when I was a kid. Well, teenager.
The scene from this one is very much the like. It's like the 4th or 5th one. The one where like Freddy also has like a Super Nintendo controller hand.
Oh God. Oh, did I forget about that?
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, yeah. So did they ever mention the comet earlier in this movie?
No, I don't think they do.
Because I don't remember hearing them say a comet. I was like, oh, did I miss it? Because like the whole idea, this comet is coming, so we're going to bring Ooze to space, kick him in front of the comet so he dies. And I was like, well, a good movie would have mentioned the comet like some point early in the film so that you knew it was a thing.
Yeah. No, I don't think they do.
Again, I had no subtitles because I watched it on YouTube.
I never thought about that either. I always thought they just threw him into a random comet.
No, there's a Billy makes a comment that there's
I think it's even called
a comet coming. Yeah, they have a name for it.
I don't know. If it was a good movie, they would have thrown him into the sun like every other anime that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's entertaining. I can say that. I wasn't bored watching this.
He almost takes him with, too.
Yeah. Ooze never come back, does he?
Never. No. Ever. Some people say it's because Fox still owns the rights to him.
That probably could be it. I wouldn't be surprised.
When they're struggling up there in space and the comet's coming, one garbage ass thing is they kill him with a nut shot.
Yeah, I saw that just now.
But the leading up to that nut shot is almost worse because you got I don't know who hits the button. Is it Kim?
It's Aisha.
Aisha hits it.
She hits the button. Emergency use only.
And that right there, she breaks it and it kind of gets hit. You see it get hit and she hits it again and it works. And it's like, all right, who controls the Frog Zord? It's not fucking Aisha. Why didn't they have at least Adam in there doing that?
Because they needed her moment, I guess. She doesn't do a whole lot in this movie.
I don't think a lot of them do a whole lot in this movie.
It's Tommy. Tommy does a lot.
He gets the most shine. Yeah, I mean, I hate it when we go back to those like dinosaur skeletons and the girls, both of them, sit there screaming and please save me. Who the hell's bright idea was that?
90s.
Tommy gets the most shine because Jason David Frank's the only one who did his own stunts.
And yes, he did. Well, I guess except I'm sure the skydiving, the sky surfing.
You could also tell with the ninjas. There's one point where you can tell that Blue Ranger was not David Yost. So.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, where there's like his entire like under the hood's like completely dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why they do the whole ninja thing, is so that way they can. I mean, that's the whole point of the suit, so you can get stunt people in because these aren't. I get it, but.
Well, I heard at some point Adam's stunt double had like a broken leg or something like that, and he was out. God. So Adam had to actually jump in and do a lot of his own stunts.
Oh damn.
Also, we didn't mention it earlier, but we'll mention it now because we're kind of at the ending. Did y'all think Zordon looked like a fucking nutsack this whole fucking movie?
Absolutely, like a dry, like how your fingertips get like wrinkled in the shower.
Yes,
that's how he looked like. He looked very fucking up.
Does Zordon ever look like this again, or does it go back to the actor in the regular show?
They in the show they keep that original look that he had in the first season.
Then why not just leave that for this movie?
I don't. I need to send Mike the opening of the reboot Power Rangers, the one that came out like in 2010.
I saw that. Oh, was that 20? You're talking about the movie, right?
No.
Oh.
He's talking about the gritty short that we were talking about.
No. I'm talking about the 2010, like the reboot where Billy's a black kid and he has like autism or something.
Oh, no, that wasn't 2010. That was more recent. That was like 2017-ish.
I saw that movie, the latest movie they did with.
Yeah.
That's a decent movie.
Yeah,
I just think the opening is fucking unhinged, and that's when I knew I fell in love with the movie, because it's like Zordon's the Red Ranger and he uses the comet to kill Leader Repulsa.
Yeah.
That's a decent movie. I was sad that we're not getting anything else after that.
I'm also sad that we're not getting anything.
You know what? As much as I didn't hate the movie, I actually enjoyed it for what it was, but I didn't expect to see what I grew up on. A lot of people were mad about that. I was like, no, I didn't go in there with the expectations. So even with that, I was ready to see, all right, let's bring in the Green Ranger and do something there.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to watch that movie again, especially for this podcast, because
it's probably it's got to happen, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey, it won't take me 4 years or 3 years like it took this one, but no, it's gonna happen probably sooner than later at the rate we're going.
But we get the ending of the movie with that song, and according to the other trivia, Saban didn't want to pay for any more extras, so he put in Australia that he put on the Sydney newspaper, come watch fireworks with the Power Rangers, and then just filmed everyone when they showed up.
Yeah, that's what I read.
What a cheap bastard. I mean, just what a cheap bastard.
To be fair, they are eating like lobster on the table and everything.
I suppose.
Yeah, but is that real lobster that he put on the table, or did he find like, hey,
not.
you guys finished that meal? All right, well we'll take the bones. We can use it for the set.
He gave them leftovers of what he was eating.
I just find it funny that they have lobster. It's like, come on, these are teenagers. They're not going to appreciate lobster.
And shrimp and stuff.
Yeah,
I would have rather had a burger at this point.
Burgers and fries. And
yeah, I mean now, yeah, give me the lobster, please. But no, not then.
Rich, you can answer a weird question for me because you know a lot more than I do. Does that kid become the Gold Ranger at some point?
Absolutely not. And I don't know why they didn't really try to follow up on anything like that, but no, they keep building him up like he's going to be a Ranger, and you never see Fred again.
Someone fucking lied to me when I was a kid then, God damn it.
Yeah, no, Gold Ranger was the return of Jason and Zeo.
Okay.
Also, the director didn't do any other movies, as far as I can tell.
Good.
He's a television director, it looks like. And he made the Power Rangers movie. Oh, and then he directed McHale's Navy and For Richer or Poorer, and that's it. There's like nothing on him really in here.
Good. I will say this, like some of the good feels, like the music, like the guy kind of knew how to fit music to a scene. That was great, and make it a little fun. Like when they're skydiving and the movie starts like that got me fucking hype and excited as a kid. And when you get to the end, you kind of felt like it was a moment to where it was like a good feel moment. The music really fit, and it was surprisingly it was done at night, which was really nice to see. But other than that opening and that ending, the shit sandwich in between was it was so pointless and garbage.
I mean, the skydiving was also pointless, by the way.
It was, but it got you into it. Yeah, it was kind of exciting.
And you get free ride.
Totally radical extreme tubular, you guys.
Oh,
I wonder if they were planning to do a sequel. They were hoping for a sequel, and that's why they're trying to build a Fred or whatever the hell the point. Like, because I agree, it did feel like Fred was going to be something, and he's nothing.
They could even put that little kid in Turbo or something. I don't know.
Turbo? I've never seen Turbo.
Don't.
I want to, by the way, now, but
the show or the movie?
The movie.
Oh yeah, we watched the movie. It's the exact same movie, honestly. Like these both movies have the exact same fucking plot.
So, like Joe and I were discussing earlier, we were talking about the sidekick that the other Dulcia actress was supposed to have, like a little animal.
Yeah.
They brought in some sort of animal sidekick alien.
Oh yeah.
That fucking wizard.
Yeah, and what's weird is they look like the same little creature that the main character has in Mass Rider.
Is that it? Oh, those are ugly. Those are hideous, man.
Yeah, because they're knockoff fucking gremlins.
I hate it. I hate it so much. I thought, because Turbo it wasn't the worst ever. They brought Jason back, they brought Kim back, but to have that, I think that wizard just destroyed it for me. It was so unnecessary, so ugly. Like, why?
Yeah, but they have the sexy villainess who's like boobs hanging out the whole movie.
Yeah, it's great. It's probably the best part of the movie.
I do want to see Turbo just because I've never seen it and I feel like I should.
You have to. You're gonna
It's
have
great.
to.
I liked it. I like it.
But yeah.
The Zord is done better in that movie.
Okay, I thought I had Turbo. I really when I went and grabbed my movie to see. I thought I had a 2-pack, but apparently I didn't. So I was a little sad.
I will say in that movie too, the main villain, Joe, you might remember this guy, Dark Spectre.
No,
No, he's that big ass like lava monster.
I don't remember that part.
Well, he's the main villain. Where Divatox, the main villain for the most part, she answers to Dark Spectre. Dark Spectre is in Boom Studios and the biggest baddie of them all.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
He's still relevant in Boom, and right now in the story that I'm reading, he's really at the forefront.
I will try to be as like unspoilerific as possible for Mike, but I do know something happened recently in the Boom Studios and a character got their hands on a morpher and became a ranger, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should ring Boom Studios to come the Power Ranger comic.
That happens more than once, not only with that character, but with other characters that you would never see coming.
Oh shit.
It's gonna be a while before I probably get around to it, so feel free.
Yeah, I might just read it on my.
We're not doing it now. No.
I must say, I might do that. I might just buy them in general, just because like every time we talk about them, I'm like, fuck, and they're usually pretty on sale. Like, I think last time I saw, they have like the special edition Lord Draken like hardcover for it, and it was like $20, and I'm like, oh, I should buy that.
I really do want to read them. Oh, and so since we did that last recording, which now I have to put this in order, read that Justice League bullshit. I read more comics. Yeah, it turns out that Justice League was just a bullshit comic. I read some Star Wars comics, and I've been reading other stuff. I'm like, I like comics. This one just fucking sucks. So,
well, I'm sorry it took that long to realize that, but yeah,
it didn't. I realized it then, but I was like, man, I was really hard on that comic because I'm normally like, maybe I'm just reading too good of stuff, and I'm reading the Star Wars, which is, I mean, it's Star Wars, it's good, but it's not like Sandman or something. It just turns out that
it's not iconic. Like if you go to different media of Star Wars comic books, is not where it shines.
Well, not what I'm just reading the Marvel run that takes place in between episode 4 and 5, and I read a really bad arc, and it was still better than that Justice League bullshit. So yeah, that's all I knew. Read a really shitty arc about vampires, and I'm like, okay.
Ew, I don't like that.
They weren't really vampires, but they were vampires.
Yeah.
Oh, and the last thing that I want to go out on this episode is this movie had at least 3 games for it.
Yeah.
It had the SNES one, which I played with Rich before, but I've never beaten.
I've never beaten it either. I'm still pissed about that.
When you come up next time we're together in person, we are gonna put cheat codes on and finally beat that fucking game, then record.
All right, cool. Because I want to see what's past the goddamn snow level or the water level, whatever it is.
Okay.
We last time we hung out, we played it, but I think we were still being stupid and I didn't use cheats for some reason.
I don't know why we didn't. I think we just kind of got distracted.
Yeah.
We played the Genesis one.
Genesis one, I love the Genesis one.
Which that was the first time I played it when we played it together.
That's a good game.
It was all right. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It also takes place during the whole movie where the SNES game you fight from the show.
Well, not even necessarily. Like, I don't even know what the hell's going on in the Super Nintendo game. Control-wise and like gameplay-wise, I think to me the Super Nintendo one's better. But setting-wise and enemies, I have no fucking idea what's going on. It does not connect to the movie.
Genesis one does though. Like Genesis one
is more faithful to the movie. Yeah.
I mean, you fight the three sisters at one point. I'm looking at images which are not from the movie. I remember the episode with the ear and nose lady or something vaguely, but you just have other villains. But no, I just remember that I really liked the Genesis game. I actually beat the Genesis game like a 3-year-old with a 3-year-old. So
wow. So what are you saying for the third one, the Game Boy one?
There's a Game Boy one too, which I didn't know existed.
Which I had it. By the way, this was on the original Game Boy, no colors.
It looks ugly.
And it's fucking horrible. I think it almost like it's meant to be played like a Mega Man setup.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
And it's not good.
I just thought one of the bosses was a giant rat.
This is true. Well, that actually does tie into the movie because the Tengus, or no, not even Tengus, the Ooze putties were supposed to be rats, but the suits sucked so much ass that they took them out, put in the ooze guys, and then they used the rat suits for the show.
Oh, okay.
In one episode.
I do want to cover more Power Ranger stuff, though, man.
Well, we need after this at some point we got to sit down and talk about when we're doing this boom run.
I want to get farther in TMT still. We got to get back to that.
We got to figure it out.
Or we just do both and switch off every week, every 2 weeks. So, but yeah, yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about this movie?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Shelf stacker box, and I'll go first. This I'm a little torn between box or stack, but it's got to go in the box because as much as I did have a little bit of fun watching this movie, it is a trash movie. It is stupid, but it was still funny. So glad I watched it. Glad we finally covered it, and I don't need to see it again. So yeah, going in the box. What about you, Joe?
That's honestly, that is a hard question. I know I wouldn't put it on the box, and I'm kind of torn to like put it on the shelf and put it in a stack because I actually had a good time watching this goofy ass fucking movie. But then again, we talked a little bit earlier about how like, yeah, the original show's like background noise. I could probably have it as background noise, but still kind of be able to pay attention just because I love all kinds of weird, goofy shit. By the end of the day, I think I probably would put it on the shelf because it's genuinely it's a really heartwarming movie. Probably bottom of the shelf though.
Oh, hey, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Rich.
Kind of stuck between stack and box. I mean, if you really get down to it, I'm kind of stacking it currently in reality. So I'll say it like this. I'll stack it because I do have nostalgia for it. I love Power Rangers. I have some good memories with it, but the adult me says throw the shit in the box and into the dumpster. I will only watch it when relevant. I can't go year to year with this movie like I can the 90s Turtle movies. I could watch them every year and never get tired of it. Power Rangers movie, I cannot do that. But I guess ultimately, just because I'm doing it currently, I'd have to stack the shit.
Okay. All right. That's about, I was really torn. Like, because I didn't hate it. So, yeah. All right. That's everything we need to say. So if you enjoyed this episode, there's over 550 other episodes of this podcast, and there's also other Power Ranger stuff you go listen to at this point. Now, finally, we made some Power Ranger stuff. So definitely go check that out. If you want to support the show, we do have Patreon. For little $1, you can vote in our Patreon poll. You'll see a link in the show notes to that. And also, please join our Discord. You see a link in the show notes for that, too. And I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok. You'll see a link to all her stuff in the link tree in the show notes. Also, please give a follow to A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. He's been on the show many times, did the MCU movies with me. I'll definitely check him out. And also check out Nomads of Fantasy, another podcast that I work with. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Audio only, but we are on YouTube. And I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.